How's it going, Cardinal Nation? Daniel Chancellor here for the Cardinal Sports Network, coming to you live right here on the beautiful campus of Del Valley High School. Little media day action as we are joined for our final interview of the day, our new head coach, Mr. Collin Williams. I almost called you Clarence Davis. We do have a new athletic director as well, Clarence Davis. But Coach Williams, thanks for joining us.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And welcome to Del Valley.
Thank you.
You got to hang out with us a little bit during baseball season, but you're finally here on the Cardinal Sports Network with us.
Awesome.
It's been fun getting to know you a little bit off cameras before we get to this.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
We're looking forward to this. It's going to be a lot of fun this year.
I'm ready. I'm excited.
You guys are installing everything new. Got a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. You yourself as the offensive coordinator at LBJ, coming up as the head coach now. A lot of changes happening. Pistol offense, 3-4 defense. Things are kind of changing, but these kids, every single one of them that we've talked to today, they're all confident. They're all ready for the season. And ironically, when I ask them if there's a game ready for that they're ready for, is there one circled on the calendar? Almost every single one of them is ready for the lakes. It doesn't matter which lake, they're just ready for the Westlake or Lake Travis game. Dripping Springs has come up. Why are these young people so confident right now coming to a season where everything's kind of in flux and they've got new coaches coming in?
I think it comes from just, those are great teams.
Sure.
Those are guys in our conference that are the top dogs, and our kids understand in order to be the man, you got to beat the man. So our kids aren't we're gonna go out there, we're gonna fight. We're going to play hard. We're going to compete. So we're not going to back down from anybody. But we also respect our opponents. So to be able to play in this district and cut your teeth on the district and play against the best, our kids are stepping up to that challenge. So by all means, we're excited. We're never saying we're there yet, but we know in order to get there, we're going to have to compete with those guys.
When you came on board as the head coach here, obviously you wanted to bring in some coaches that believed in your system, and y'all all had the same vision. Where in the interviewing process, how did it come down to Coach Flores and Coach Parker for these two coordinator spots?
It really came down to one, their love for the kids, and them wanting to be part of the family. I didn't want to bring anybody in here that was going to be in a leadership position that didn't love our kids, that didn't want to pour into our kids, that didn't want to do right by our kids. And for those two guys, it was like, hey, these are winners in that department. So every day of practice, you see how they're making those relationships with our kids. They're pushing our kids. They're holding our kids to a standard. And that was big for me. If it wasn't going to bring anybody that was just going to let them do any kind of way or be any kind of way, but that was going to push them to excellence every single practice, every single day.
Talk to me a little bit about the mentality, and I asked your coordinators this question also because both of your coordinators and yourself come from schools that are not traditionally used to losing, to be honest, where now you're at a school that unfortunately for the majority of their careers, for as long as I've been here, there's only been 2 winning seasons since 2015. So they're not accustomed to that feeling of walking away from a winning season every year. What is it like as a coach to try to get that switch to flip for these young men? Not only for these young men, but for as coaches, it has to be challenging as well to come into a program that struggles.
Well, I think it's consistency, and I think it's building that consistency. I think it's building the standard and creating the standard and holding our kids to that standard and understanding that I've been, through my journey and my career, I've been at places where we haven't been as successful as the places I've been at other places. So it was taking all those lessons from those places and under those head coaches and putting that into our kids and putting that into our coaching staff. So it is something new, but it's not something that we're afraid of. It's not something that we're like, oh hey, we're used to this. Like we want to build this program to be in the conversation with with the lakes and people that have been highly revered in our district. So it's something where it's something we talk about every day. It's something that we talk to our kids about every day, about it being champions in everything that we do and preaching excellence in everything that we do. So that when we get that opportunity to finally be in a conversation, it was something that we've been doing since the foundation.
So 2019 was the last time Del Valley had a winning season. 16 is the last time Del Valley went to the playoffs. But every one of the young men you set in front of me today, their goal, senior, junior, didn't matter. Their goal is to make the playoffs this year. Again, it's that confidence that it's just oozing off of these young men right now. It's making it, I think, if Cardinal Nation isn't already excited, they should be. But if they aren't excited, give them something to get excited about. What's something you're seeing during practice that nobody else is really seeing that you might be willing to share right now?
I'll say our fight and our competitiveness. And I think it goes back to when I first came in. It was, having something to strive for. We weren't ever going to come in here and say, hey, we're just trying to go put something together and put something on the field. You have to get the community to believe. You have to get the kids to believe. Good times and bad times, that hey, this is the goal. This is what we want, and we can attain it. But I also let our kids know too. We're not going to be given anything. That is the goal. That is the model. That's what we're talking about. But every week we're going to have to bring it. So no one's going to. You can't say, hey, this is our goal, and then you don't do what it takes to reach that goal, because no one on our schedule, no one in our district is going to say, hey, you want to go to playoffs? Cool. We're going to have to go out there. We're going to have to scratch, claw, fight, and contend every night. And if not, then that goal won't be reached. But I'm glad that our kids are buying into that, and they're seeing that, because at the end of the day, why not have a goal of that magnitude? Why not Del Valley?
Sure.
So I think when I came in, I said, hey, this is where we should be. And at first, I think they kind of like looked around, and I was like, no, that is the standard. That's what we're going to keep coaching to. And we plan to make it to that goal. And if for some reason we don't, it's not going to be that we didn't scratch, claw, and fight to get there.
Talk to me a little bit about offensive coordinator transition to head coach. Will you still be making the offensive play calls?
I will.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to let go of, but I also made sure I hired a staff to where I can kind of help control the madness that goes on up there. So brought in guys and kept guys that had the experience that were very well versed in schemes and everything like that. And it was good to also have guys that knew what our kids could do and had faith in our kids. So it makes it a lot easier to kind of assume that role, and by all means, making sure, that the other part is, I can't just be the play caller.
Sure.
I got to make sure I'm looking out for our kids on defense, making sure I'm looking out for our kids on special teams, because we have a wonderful amount of great athletes, and we have a good thing going here. So, that's the offense has kind of been my thing, but I also know too, like, there's other facets to the game that we need to look after.
I think one of the biggest offensive highlights this year is the running game for Del Valley, or potentially the running game. You got Mr. Dent in the backfield, you've got Mr. Green in the backfield, but ironically, you don't have that depth in the running back position that you like we did last year. Last year, I think we had 3 or 4 guys that were constantly getting rotated out, but this year you're going to be relying on Mr. Dent a lot more. Almost 1,000 yards offensively, total offensively through the air and on the ground. What is it going to take for him to be that 1,000-yard rusher that Del Valley hasn't had since 2019?
Right now there's a lot of things he does well. Like, he has vision. He's able to see things. He's able to set up his runs. He's being the full type of back. Like, we can throw the ball to him. We can, he handles things in the protection. He's able to go out there and crease you for a long run, like as he did yesterday in the scrimmage, and a couple times where you think you might have him dead to rights, and the next thing you know, he's scooting for 20, 30, 40, 50 yards. So it was funny whenever I got here, and they said, hey, they did a running back by committee, but Bradley Dent decided he was going to be the guy, and when he stepped back onto the field, it was, hey, he never, that mantra stayed with it. It was never, he never took a step back. And then it's also great having First Green, who's the second. We have a thunder and a lightning with him, because
Sure.
First Green's not going down. He's not going down by any means. It's going to take a lot to tackle him. He runs behind his pad, and he runs with bad intention. So I'm excited about our run game. We're going to have to help him some with our receivers, because our receivers and our offense is going to be part of our run game. But having those 2 guys back there that run fearless and create stuff for themselves is going to be awesome.
Talk to me about the challenges of not only a young quarterback, but a young quarterback who hasn't ever played on varsity before, getting this call right now, the sophomore, and what challenges does that face again as a coach, and trying to get this team to buy in, but not only buy in, but now they have to trust an underclassman as a quarterback.
I think for our quarterback situation, our quarterbacks, one, they're going to have to earn the trust of their teammates, and it's going to be through execution and making plays. We have a lot of talented guys in that room right now, guys that are dual threats. So at the end of the day, it's still a battle. But if trusting either of them, from the sophomore to the junior to the senior, it's going to come down to execution. And as far as we, that's what we pride ourselves on. If you're not executing and producing, then we have to figure out who can. And I think our guys will rally around that execution, that production. we have a really good quarterback room, and it starts off with our sophomore, and then we have other guys that we have to build packages for because they're showing that they need to be on the field as well.
All right, Coach. Going to be a fun first year, in my opinion. You got a lot of great foundation as far as returning players, honorable mentions, second team all districts. I think there's one or two first team all districts, if I'm not mistaken, in here. Maybe just second, or is it just second? May just be second, but I mean, you still have a lot of great talent on the squad. Do you feel like the foundation's set there, and not only for future success for the underclassmen that are coming up, but I mean, obviously, I saw your squad at scrimmage, the red and white scrimmage. Your underclassmen are phenomenal looking.
I would say, with having this place has always been a place that has had talent, been rich with talent, and it's about keeping our kids here in Del Valle and making them want to be Cardinals from the lower levels. We, like you said, we have a really talented freshman class, and
right.
When we build this thing, correctly, we're definitely going to be, making some noise. I want to say right now we have a really talented group from top to bottom of freshman football players right now that will be competing for spots. And then when you go to the older levels, you start, that's also in seeing that it's making the older guys compete too, because now they see what's coming up through the ranks, and it's making them understand that, hey, look, I can't take a playoff because I have no problem bringing a freshman up. I have no problem playing a guy that's going to make plays, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what this game is about. It's about making plays. It's about execution. It's about putting the ball in the box and stopping people from putting the ball in the box. So if we got guys that are at the younger levels that can do that, by all means, we're not going to hold them back from being great.
Coach, you've got a lot to work with here. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this season. I really appreciate the time. Any final words for Cardinal Nation before I let you get back to it?
Come out and see us. We're going to sit up there and do something to put on for the city. We love our community. We love our fans. Go Cards.
First-year head coach Collin Williams joining us here live on the Cardinal Sports Network for the first time. Greatly appreciate you, Coach, as always. Yes, we look forward to it. One more scrimmage left, and then on the road against Cedar Creek right here on the Cardinal Sports Network. We look forward to bringing you that one, but until then, we hope you guys have enjoyed this as much as I have. We'll see you next time right here on the Cardinal Sports Network.